Hey everyone, it's Danielle from Mamademics. I know that I said that I was going to start vlogging soon, but if you've noticed, I haven't blogged or vlogged very much over the last few months. Um, and the best way I can explain it is I've just been going through a really difficult time emotionally as a graduate student and dealing with some other personal issues in terms of deaths in my family. Um, and I didn't really know how to, like, why I was in this slump or how to explain it or even that it was a slump until a few days ago. Sesame asked me to read him a book, and he brought me Oh, the Places You'll Go. And if you've ever read Oh, the Places You'll Go, you know that they talk about all these mountains you'll climb and how you can be this super ambitious person and you're going to do all these wonderful, great things in your life. But there's also a part which we hadn't gotten to when reading to him because he doesn't usually sit still for it, that talks about the slump. And the slump is pretty much where I've been the last few months when it comes to writing my dissertation and that kind of thing. So I'm going to read that passage of the book and talk about like the epiphany that I've had and the issues that I've been dealing with. So here it is. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch and your gang will fly on and you'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You will come to a place where the streets are not marked, some places are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare to stay out? Do you dare to go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, should you turn left or right and three quarters, or maybe not quite, or go back around and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you'll find. For a mind maker up to make up his mind. You can get so confused that you'll start into race down long wiggle roads at a necking pace, and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, toward a most useless place, the waiting place. For people just waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a place to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or a no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for the fish to bite, or waiting for wind to fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night, or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. And I'm going to stop there. But that passage really, like, I was reading to him and I was like, oh my God, this is where I've been lately. The last time I worked on my dissertation perspectives, believe it or not, was March. I sent my advisor a draft of it, and March tends to be really busy in general for advisors and things like that, so I didn't expect feedback right away. But what I also didn't expect was that I would have a difficult semester teaching. The year started off really well, but I had dealt with a lot of complications teaching this year. And as you know, my dissertation is about teaching. So it was really hard to continue doing my reading and research about this when I'm dreading going to work in the evenings to teach my students because of the issues, and I was questioning all these things about myself. Like, am I a good teacher? Are these methods that I'm planning to write about, are they going to be effective? Because I can't even manage this one student or this one issue, and it really, really negatively affects me over the course of the semester. And then once the semester ended, we had an unexpected family friend die. My husband's best friend's wife passed away unexpectedly, and violently, actually. Chicago violence. If you're in Chicago, please work with Bright Light and help them as they're trying to end the violence in Chicago. She was hit by a stray bullet and passed away. So that was a hard time for our family because we are around the same age, and we went to the memorial service and people were saying all these wonderful things about her, and I felt inspired. I felt like, I can do this. This was May. So it's like, I can do this. I'm going to start vlogging. I'm going to get back to work. And then a few weeks later, my mother called me and told me that my childhood pastor was losing his battle to cancer. And I didn't know he had cancer until earlier this year, and I had planned to go visit him when I came home from my brother's graduation to see him. I hadn't seen him in a few years, and I felt really guilty. I hadn't seen him. I hadn't introduced my husband or my son to him. And then my mom told me about the week before I was coming home, or 2 weeks before I was coming home, that he wasn't going to make it into that visit, which was devastating for me. So I literally had a really, really bad emotional bout those few weeks. I cried a lot. I did send him a video, and I introduced him to Sesame through the video and told him a little bit about my husband, and he passed away shortly after seeing the video, so I think a day or two later. And I just didn't want to do anything, to be honest. The issues with teaching had kind of I had stopped working out around that time. And then I said, I'm going to start working out again. And then, of course, after that, with dealing with someone passing away so young, that was hard. And it was really hard for my husband more so than me, because I wasn't as close to her as he was. And I felt really bad for him. And then for me to lose someone so close to me and not be able to attend the funeral services was devastating. So I had been in this slump, and I hadn't realized it was a slump because I was still functioning in terms of, being a mom and being a wife. And, every now and then my husband would just say, let's get out of the house. You need to do X, Y, and Z. Sometimes he tried to encourage me to work out again, because that seems to be when I was really happy, and I just kind of wasn't feeling any of it. And I said, well, when we come back from our Midwest vacation, I'm going to get back on it. I'm going to start writing. I'm going to do all these things. And we've been back for about a week. We've slowly been getting my office together again. And this week is actually when I read Oh, the Places You'll Go to Sesame. And I just had a moment of epiphany that I have been in this slump, and I've let this slump continue for so long. And that's not who I am. I'm not a quitter. I am not a person who doesn't finish what she started. And I don't give up. If you know anything about me, you know that I did not have the most amazing childhood growing up, and I've had to deal with hard times before. So this is something that I should be able to bounce back from. So this is my first vlog. It's about my dissertation and really about where I am in terms of not being, I guess, productive. So I want to do weekly vlogs about where I am with my dissertation, where I am with my dissertation perspectives, where I am as a mom, how I'm adapting and not allowing myself to stay in this slump. I'll try to post them every Friday. It might end up being Saturday because I might record them on Fridays, but we'll see. So this first one is just a very honest, real moment that sometimes when you're writing your dissertation, or when you are a mom and a student and a wife and all these things wrapped into one, it gets very hard and difficult to keep up with it. And people ask me all the time, how are you balancing it all? And the answer is I'm not. Something is always falling behind. I am not Superwoman. No one is Superwoman. And even though we say, the feminist movement, we can have it all, and I am definitely a feminist, but the truth of the matter is, while you can have it all, you really can't. You can say that you have all these things, but you can't do them all well and really take care of yourself. So over the next few weeks, I'll be talking about, my process of writing my dissertation and how I'm maintaining myself and taking care of me in the midst of all of this, and how I'm pulling myself out of this slump. And the first step to that is to sit down and read through all my advisor's comments once again and start writing. So wish me luck. And if you've listened to the end, go check out the blog post and enter a giveaway for a $200 PayPal cash. I'm doing this giveaway with a few of my favorite bloggers. So yeah, check it out, and